Hi, I'm Lauren Grace, host of the Afterlight Podcast, mindset and manifestation coach and medium. With over 20 years in self-development, I specialize in empowering people like you to unlock your inner power and live the life you want. Drawing from my background in radio, online platforms, events, and business management, I offer comprehensive training in mindset, business strategies, and personal growth. My goal is simple: to help you realize your full potential and thrive in both business and life. My holistic approach to coaching and teaching sets me apart as I incorporate practical strategies, actionable steps, and spiritual insights in all I do. As a medium, I can connect with higher guidance and deliver messages that resonate deeply with your soul, guiding you towards clarity, healing, and empowerment. I'm dedicated to creating a supportive environment where you can explore your aspirations, overcome challenges, and step into your highest potential. Together, we'll embark on a transformative journey of self-discovery, growth, and lasting change. The journey ahead is yours to shape. Join me today and begin your journey towards a more empowered and fulfilled life. Find out more at laurengraceinspirations.com. Hello, how's it going? Lauren Grace here. I am the host of the Afterlight Podcast, a mindset and manifestation coach and a medium. And welcome to the show today. So today what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be pulling some cards. I'll start off with a card and I'll end with a card as I usually do. I thought I would do some messages from spirit in terms of bibliomancy, which we will also start off, which may help us set the tone for the show. But there are a couple of themes that I'm really wanting to cover off today. So I am live over on Instagram, LinkedIn, and on Facebook. Thank you so much for joining me. If you have any questions on spirituality, on manifestation, mindset, business, anything like that, I'm happy to answer them today. And one of the things that I want to be talking about today is the concept of how good are you at receiving. I'm also going to be talking about putting yourself out there and also noticing the ego. So hopefully these subjects are of interest to you. So kicking things off, let's go ahead and pull a card today. I haven't used this deck in a while, so I really felt called to bust it out. It's the Human Spirit Oracle deck, and on it, it says Learning to Connect. And it's by Jenna De La Grotaglia. And she's an incredible artist. She's done a lot of different collaborations, and I see that she's been coming out with her own decks. I also have her Resurrection deck Oracle, which is awesome too. So I'm going to go ahead and pull a card. So wherever you are in time and space, I'd love for you to just think of your question, remembering, of course, that the journey ahead is yours to shape, always running everything through your own filter. There might be just one little word or one little phrase or something that comes through from this card that is meant for you. So just be open-minded, and then making sure, of course, that you're really connecting with your own inner guidance and your own inner wisdom. Okay, so here we go. So the card that we're going to get to start things off here is the card called Forever Young, which is card number 38. And that's very funny because I was just listening to a podcast all about anti-aging and skin health. So it's very funny when we see this Forever Young card here referenced. So I don't know if that's for me or what. All right, so we've got number 38 here. So 3 plus 8 is an 11, and 11 is a master number. So it's like a double number, which we don't normally break down. When I'm looking at numbers, I normally break them down. But if they're duplicates of themselves, so like 11, 22, 33, I keep them intact. But then if they're not, I'll break them down to a single digit. So for example, if we had right now we've got number 38. So 3 plus 8 is an 11. So 11 is all about a new start, new beginning. And when we get a master number, that's a lot of emphasis, a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of power amongst like that number. So there's a lot of energy around this new direction, this new change, these new ideas. Now, one of the things that's really cool is that we're here on Earth School. I'm not sure if you've heard it referred to as that before, but we're here and we're figuring things out and we're learning as we go. And it's all about progress, right? And it's all about learning and progressing and not having to have everything figured out. And one of the cool things is that when we learn new information, it creates, number one, new neural nets in our mind, but it also creates new opportunities for us to direct our life into a new trajectory. And, I always talk about how the journey ahead is ours to shape. And the fact of the matter is that we can choose our life. We can choose the people we spend our time with. We can choose the influences that we listen to. We can choose the things that we say. We can even choose our thoughts, which for some people is something that they're learning to do. And by the way, I've got a lot of courses and training on these subjects. For example, my really powerful challenge called Master Your Mindset, which is a 21-day challenge to a more confident you. If you want to go on my website, you can check it out. It's $37. It's 21 days. You get a daily email. It's amazing for helping you really understand that you can, in fact, choose your thoughts. But when we're looking at understanding our power to choose and to choose again and to choose something different, it puts our power back in the driver's seat. We become in the seat of our power. All right. And when we get this card, Forever Young, this is really talking a lot about, I'm not going to be talking about the superficiality of that right now. I'm going to be talking about the concept that we are in a constant state of learning. And one of the challenges that happen to us sometimes is very often we maybe feel that we should know better, or we want to be in a different stage of our lives, but we're just not there yet. And when we remember and give ourselves permission to learn and grow as we're here on Earth School, understanding that what is meant for us will not pass us by and things happen in divine timing, it allows us to trust the situation more. So this card is really giving you an opportunity to reflect in your own life and to ask yourself those questions. Am I hurrying something along? Am I wanting to rush something? It's the whole idea of, let's pretend you're wanting to find a perfect partner, okay? I was talking about this with someone the other day. You're wanting to find a partner, let's pretend, and you're ready right now. Let's just say you're ready. Well, it doesn't necessarily mean that that person is ready. And so when we're forcing things, when we're looking around and going, could it be you? Could it be you? Could it be you? What we're doing is we're actually creating a feeling of desperation, of neediness, of want, right? And what happens is sometimes we say yes to things that don't serve us. We say yes to situations that are not taking us into the person that we want to be, into our future self, into our highest good. And so when we remember that things happen in divine timing and that there are other parts of the puzzle that need to come together to get us our desires, it allows us to remember to be patient with the progress, with the process. And so this card is really a gentle reminder to just be where you are right now and understand that where you are is completely fine, that you would be somewhere different if you were meant to be. So for some people, they're going to be in different stages of life. If you think about it in terms of seasons, I always think that's a really nice way of looking at it. So we've got winter, we've got spring, we've got summer, we've got fall, we've got winter, we've got spring, we've got summer, we've got fall, right? So when we know about those seasons, we understand that there are certain tendencies that we have within those seasons. For example, winter is a lot about going within, hibernation, nurturing, maybe exploring the shadow self, intuition, self-care, a lot of that. Spring is a lot about planting seeds, right? Goal setting. Summer is a lot about that harvesting. It's a lot about understanding that, oh, look at all the bounty and all of the things that we've got. And then fall is a lot about almost cleaning, tidying things up, finishing up things, and then getting us ready to hibernate again, where we do it all over again. Where we can sometimes get stuck is when we see somebody else who might be in a spring or a summer goal setting or harvesting, and we're in a winter and we want to be elsewhere. That's where we struggle and that's where we have challenges. And so it's a real indicator for you to remember that we're all on our own personal journey. We're all doing the best we can. We're all on our personal journey, and that what other people think of us and what other people are doing is really none of our business. And very often what we do is we look outside of ourselves for answers. We look outside of ourselves for inspiration, which is fine, but we look outside of ourselves for truth. And when we come into our own self, we can go, oh yeah, I can see right now that maybe I'm in a winter, I'm in hibernation. Or wait a minute, hey, yeah, I'm feeling energetic. I'm feeling, the idea to plant my goals right now and to really get ready to harvest, all of my rewards like that are coming to me because of the goals that I've been setting. So when we can get really clear on understanding that if we're in a situation that we're not happy with right now, it's just right now, it's not forever, it's just this moment now. What can you appreciate about this moment here? I was listening to a really fantastic podcast with Gabby Bernstein the other day and Kyle Gray. And Kyle Gray was talking a lot about how angels love open palms, open palms and open heart. And so where in your life are you clenching, and can you actually just look at surrendering? One of the things that I like to teach people to do is go, okay, if you have the affirmation, let's say, I'm going to hand this situation over to the divine. I'm going to hand this situation over to God, and I'm going to go free, or I surrender, whatever word you want, I let go. If you imagine clenching your fist, you can go ahead and do that with me. Think of a situation that's challenging right now, challenging you, and go, all right, think of it, close your eyes. Come back to your breath, unless you're driving, of course, keep your eyes open. Don't do this. You can pull over. And just imagine that situation and then just say, I'm going to hand the situation over to the divine and I go free, or I let go, and then actually physically do that with your hands. And just the idea of you physically doing that is really going to help you to really hand that over, to surrender that to the universe, to source, to God. Ooh, good channeled messages. Woo! I'm feeling it today. Here we go. All right, let's go ahead and do some bibliomancy. This is so funny because I've got this awesome book and it's called A Happy Pocket Full of Money. And funny story about that, I've listened to the audiobook, I think around 3 times now, and it's absolutely fantastic. And I bought the book online. It was recommended to me by a girlfriend of mine. And I wanted to do some bibliomancy today. And so I thought, I'm going to do this book, which is called Bringing Out the Magic in Your Mind, which is sitting over there. And I picked up this book and I put it to the side and I went live and blah, blah, blah. And it's not until this very second now I realized I picked up the wrong book. So maybe it's actually not the wrong book at all. Maybe it's the right book we were supposed to get a message from, because the book that I had intended to work with today is over there. So we'll go with this one because that's how spirit works through us. So I'm seeing a lot of people and hearing from a lot of people right now that are really having challenges with manifesting money, really challenges with manifesting finances. So that's why today on the show, I really wanted to talk to you about the concept of how good are you at receiving, and also looking for opportunities to put ourselves out there. And then of course we have to bring in the ego. So before we do that, let's do a little bit of bibliomancy. Now, I have a little mini course on my website for $11, 7 little videos, and it teaches you different intuitive tips that you can use to really tap into your intuition and work with your guides. And bibliomancy is one of the things that I teach on. They're short mini courses because I wanted to give you different options and different ways of tapping into your intuition. So to do bibliomancy, what we do is we'll think of a question, or we might look for a general idea, general message, which is what we're going to be doing today. You can literally just kind of run your thumb across the pages as it sort of waves like this. If you're watching me, or if you're just listening, then you can just sort of fan the pages out, and you can just stop at one randomly, or you can make an intention to go, I'm going to choose page 49, and I'm going to do paragraph 3, which is what we'll do today because that just came to me. So let's go ahead and do that. But you could always fan it and then run your finger down it and stop there. Okay, so what did I say? Page 49, paragraph 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so this is so cool. So this is what it says. This is our message from Source. It says, imagination is a very basic but integral part of becoming wealthy. Every other part of the process uses the imagination at some stage. Your mind's images are literally the blueprint for which your world is built. And so the message here, and I've been listening to a lot of Neville Goddard's work, and he talks a lot about the imagination as well. In fact, he talks about the concept of going to bed every night and replaying the day as though you'd want it to happen. It's a fascinating thing to look at doing. And I could talk and jam about that whole concept, but that's not what today's show is about. Although I guess we are talking about imagination for a moment. So the message in this book is really, or in this particular message, is talking about the power of our imagination. A lot of times, what I'm seeing people doing is they're challenged with maybe finances and they're looking at the negativity in their situation instead of the potential and the opportunity, right? So, when we remember to do our gratitude list, when we remember when things are happening, for example, when I sell a course, or when someone books in with me or something, I'll go, ooh, thank you, more, please, right? Like more of these kind of people. And when we acknowledge the good that we have in our life, that's when we start to turn on the tap to attracting more of that. Now, our imagination is such a powerful tool. And when we can take the time to remember that if we visualize a little bit about how we want our life to go, or at the end of the day, we visualize how we wanted our day to go, instead of maybe the way that it went with challenges, when we can rewrite our past and rewrite our future, that's when the magic really starts to happen. See, we are these powerful co-creators. We don't give ourselves enough credit. That's the thing. We sometimes forget, and that's okay. I mean, we were born here and then we forgot everything and we're having to relearn stuff, right? Which is frustrating, but it is what it is. And so sometimes what happens is we get into challenging situations and then we remember, oh, yeah, I am a powerful creator. Oh, yeah, I have been imagining challenges and destruction and all this stuff, instead of what could happen and all the great and goodness that could come out of the situation instead. I get that. My guides are really wanting me to reinforce to you as well that we are a sum of our decisions. And so if one of the things that you're wanting to attract, for example, is finances, well, how are you treating your money at the moment? I remember the other day I went to my car and I live on a property and I went to get into my car and I noticed, I looked down, I was like, what is that? And it was a 10-cent coin and I was pumped because I just thought, oh, wow, money is attracted to me, right? Money comes to me easy, freely, frequently. And I was over the moon about it. I picked it up, I like cleaned it off, I like had it there. And I just thought, this is the absolute best. And so when we remember that we are empowered and we can empower ourselves to create the life that we want, that's when we can really start to step into this incredible life and this incredible, reality for ourselves. It's just remembering that we have that power and that potential. So I want to ask you, how good are you receiving? And not everybody wants finances, not everybody wants money. Some people want opportunity, they want freedom, they want, security, they want love, whatever it is. But how good are you at receiving? And this is one of the challenges that I think we have. And I think sometimes as women as well, we have challenges with receiving because we have this nurturing quality, but we want to give all the time. And then we feel on some level that if we're going to take, that we're taking away from other people, or that there's going to be other people more deserving of us, or we're not worthy of that, right? And I'm a huge advocate for growing in self-love, for really showing up for ourselves every single day. I'm in the mirror today and putting on my makeup. I'm not like, yeah, girl, I'm like celebrating myself. Oh yeah, I was singing Tina Turner's Simply the Best, And then some days I'll look in the mirror and I'll be like, I love you, Lauren. I love you, Lauren. I love you, Lauren. Or, I'll just talk to myself, or I'll just look at myself through the eyes and see my heart and all that beauty and shine, right? And when we can remember to start to nurture ourselves, it's really going to set us up to start to receive. But one of the challenges that I noticed in myself is sometimes with receiving. So, for example, I was at an event a little while ago and there was a raffle, right? And there was a raffle for a $375 voucher. And so I had bought some raffle tickets and I'm there, and I was also hosting the event, but the raffle was like part of something else. So it was okay for me to buy tickets and get involved. And anyway, so the people who were hosting the raffle, they're like handed the raffle bucket to this woman in the audience to pull a number from it. And there was about 40 people there, but it was real casual. It was kind of like you could just talk to the room. I mean, me, I was just all about it. So I said, hey, feel free to pull my name out of there if you want, right? Anyway, haha. So she like shuffles around, lots of raffle tickets, pulls it out, and she goes, Lauren Grace? And I said, yeah. And she had pulled out my name. And it was so awesome. And everyone went, wow, it was so cool to just kind of see that all happen in motion. But then I felt guilty that I had won this thing and I'd taken away from somebody else's ability to win. And then I'm feeling that for a moment. I'm feeling elation. And then I was going, oh, was really wanting this from the universe. But then some level, and I think it was more honestly later where I went, oh, I don't know. Like I felt a little bit guilty for winning, which is bringing me back to the whole thing about how good are we at receiving. But it was funny because then there was a woman in the audience as well. And she went on to win, I think it was 2 or 3 prizes after me. And I thought, wow, that woman's a legend at receiving. And anyway, her story is fascinating too, because she had actually had like an ND, like a near-death experience earlier, like that month, and all this cool, not that that's cool, but I mean, like all these things were happening for her, just showing her how supported she was in life. And anyway, so when I won that, I went, wow, I wanted this, I got this validation from the universe that I wanted. And then I felt guilty. I was taking away from someone else, even though I bought tickets to win in the raffle and I intended to win that prize and I won it, and I had intended to win it a couple of weeks before because I knew it was going to be in the draw and I wanted it. And I went, I'm going to win that. Right. And so this is the thing is I go, okay, cool. I'm still working on learning to receive as well. And so when we can understand that there are these maybe aspects of ourselves where, and I talked myself into it. I was like, girl, you totally deserve to win that. It's fine. You deserve it. You won it. You manifested. You were a legend. Here we go. And so I was able to put that to the side. But one of the things I sometimes do is I say no to things, right? So someone will offer me, like I got offered a session one time from a friend, and I just felt that, oh, I don't know if I want to do that. Like I'm really a self advocate for my own healing, and that's just a big part about who I am. And then I just honestly, it took me a few months. And then I finally went, you know what? Okay, I would love to accept that from you. Thank you very much. Right? Thank you. Instead of no, like what? Get out of my own way. Right? And so I hope you can learn from some of these stories that I'm sharing with you, because it is frustrating when you get in your own way. And I get that. And my spirit guides are like, Lauren, it is so frustrating to be delivering to you things. And then you're going, nah, I'm good. Right? Or I think I know a better way, or right. And so it's just one of the things that I'm really looking for in my own life is ways to say yes to things instead of saying no. And I think sometimes when I say no, it's out of fear, right? Or it's out of, I think pretty much always fear. And fear, false evidence appearing real, it's not ever really based in anything, right? Well, what's the worst that could happen? Like, I don't know. I don't enjoy myself. I leave. I don't continue. It's not really that big of a deal. So a big part about us manifesting things in our life and opening up to the opportunity and beauty that the universe has to offer us is us learning where our shortcomings are, learning where are the things that we are working on healing, and the deserving part of that part of ourselves to receive, for example. And so that's my conversation on that. I also want to talk about the concept of putting yourself out there. So I was talking about shortcomings. And I want to say as well that when we have our shortcomings, these are great, because when we can notice that, all right, I'm not great at receiving, or I'm not great at putting myself out there, for example, I'm not great at, let's say public speaking, for example. When we can understand and notice those things about ourselves, it's not a thing where we go, oh, Lauren, you suck. You're not good at receiving. No, it's like, no, you are good at receiving, but then you have this other level of you where maybe there's a deserving thing about it. So let's look at healing that. Let's look at saying yes to opportunities as they come so we can practice doing that more. And when we can understand our shortcomings and do the work and look on the other side of fear, because on the other side of fear is what? A miracle. I borrowed that from Kyle Gray, by the way. I love that when he said that. I was, on the other side of fear is a miracle. I was like, God, that is so good. I just love it. And that's the truth. But we have to show up for ourselves and decide that's what we want to do. We want to put ourselves on the other side of fear, and we want to see what's there, right? I get that. Okay, so it's like my team's talking about, let's say we're on a river, like on the side of a river, okay? And there's a gorge there. And the gorge is like really loud, and there's a lot of water and like rapids, and we're like, oh shit, this looks scary as hell. I don't want to get to the other side, but if we just looked up a little bit, we'd notice there was a bridge and we could just walk over it and then get to the other side. And then that's where La La Land is. And La La Land is like a magical world where all of our dreams come true. And then we go, oh, wait a minute, this actually wasn't that scary, because the minute that I took a moment and decided I actually wanted to get to the other side, I noticed there was a bridge to take me there. And so where can we work through the bridge? Where can we walk across the bridge and get to the other side of where we want to go into La La Land? I don't know why I'm saying La La Land. Oh, that's a movie. I've never seen it, but how can we do that? Right? And so sometimes it's feeling the fear and doing it anyway. Sometimes it's doing small little steps, aligned steps. Sometimes it's showing up for ourselves in the mirror every day and going, girl, you rock. You're simply the best, and singing Tina Turner and just rocking out. Sometimes it's investing in programs such as the one that I'm launching right now, which is called Soul Accelerator, which is a 6-month program where you work with me one-on-one like this 2 times a month, where I'm teaching you and training you. We start with a card of the day. You're working with other soul-led women. Amazing. Honestly, it's amazing. Anyway, all the details are on my website. But if you want to set up a free call with me to talk about whether or not this is going to be the right investment for you, I love that. It's totally free. Let's hang. This is the thing. We have to do different things to get different outcomes. If we keep doing the same thing all of the time, we keep getting the same results. And I know you probably know that whole quote about insanity is like expecting a different result and doing the same thing all the time won't bring it, right? Or, I'm paraphrasing that. This is the thing. Our moment to step into our power and cross that bridge over the gauntlet or the gorge of fear is now. And it can start off with us saying yes to small little things like a healing that your girlfriend wants to give you, or being pumped as hell that you've won a raffle, or just saying yes to a new event. Someone I know the other day, they went to a new networking event by themselves. I've gone to some networking events by myself. It is nerve-wracking. You go in, you're like, I'm by myself. I don't know anyone. What am I going to do? And you may not believe this about me, but I'll tell you it's true. I am actually a little bit introverted. I'm like an introverted extrovert. No, I'm an extroverted introvert. No, what am I? I'm introverted, but I have extrovert qualities. Like you and me hanging here, I feel very comfortable with that. I feel safe talking to you. It's good. When I'm in a new environment, I don't need to be the star of the show. You know what I mean? I don't, unless I'm the host and I'm the MC, then I will be what I need to be there. But I'm more than happy to just be myself and be quiet and interact with people. But when I'm going to new things like new endeavors, new networking events, sometimes we have to put ourselves out there, right? Where we have to go, okay, I don't really feel comfortable with this, but I'm going to go, hi, I'm Lauren, welcome. Like, who are you? How'd you find yourself here, right? And put ourselves out there, because that's how we overcome challenges. That's how we get to the other side into the La La Land concept again. And I'm so proud of myself, of the people that I know, of you, for those situations that we take and we go, you know what, I'm going to back myself, my big ideas, and I'm going to put myself out there and do that. Because on the other side of fear is, say it with me, a miracle. Yes. Okay, noticing the ego. Right. So I also wanted to talk about noticing the ego. And I wanted to use a little example about shoe shopping. So I love to buy shoes, and I don't have lots of them, but when I do see a nice pair that I like, sometimes I buy a couple pairs of them, because I live in North Australia and the weather here is I'm a Canadian, I live in Australia, and the weather here is crazy amazing, but it's hot and a lot of things dissolve and don't last very long and that kind of thing. Anyway, to cut a really long, maybe boring story short, I bought a couple pairs of shoes from a company and I didn't wear them a lot. I wore them a couple of times and the bottoms of the shoes fell off. I don't know if that's ever happened to you. If you buy shoes that aren't like super high quality, that sometimes happens. So I contacted the company and I said, hey, can you please send me some new bottoms for my shoes so I can wear them? There's no shoe repair where I live. The closest shoe repair is an hour and a half away, blah, blah, blah. So the person wrote me back and went, your shoe problem doesn't fall into our company guidelines or for like a manufacturer error, basically. And so as a token of good faith, we're going to give you 15% off your next purchase. And I went, okay, I respect that. Thank you. And I'm always very courteous and very nice to the people who are supporting me because they're just doing their job. But I'm also like a little bit going, well, these shoes are pretty new. And I'd sent all these photos and stuff like that. And I said, hey, like with all due respect, I don't want the 15%. I want new bottoms for my shoes so I can actually wear my shoes. Or I want my shoes replaced if possible. And they wrote me back again and said, no, we don't do that. And then the person said to me something along the lines, I should have brought the email so I could read it to you, but it was basically along the lines of how these shoes had a fair amount of wear and in a short period of time, like kind of insinuating that I'd really walked a mile in these shoes since I bought them. Okay. And my ego went, how dare you? I felt like saying, girl, how dare you? I have literally worn these shoes probably around 5 times each. I just happen to live in an environment where maybe, the shoes don't last as long. And let me just say to you too, like if I'm taking an objective look at these shoes, they look great. There's nothing wrong. I don't see how they look like they've been really worn. Anyway, so start typing back, right? Like I'm on my phone. I'm like, I'm going to respond to this email and I'm just going to say to that person, you know what? I've only worn these shoes like between 5 and 10 times each, and that'll show them. And so I started typing this email, and then this higher awareness came through, and it was like, does it really matter? Is it really worth it? You're not going to get your new shoe bits sent to you. You got 15%, which is, whatever. You're not going to get new shit. Like, does it matter to tell this person who I felt, and I was emotionally reacting to this message, that it was like a narky response to me? I'm adding the tone, right? I'm adding the tone in the email. Do I really need to go there? And so I deleted it and I went, you know what? I don't need to go there. And the fact of the matter is that a lot of the times we spend in life, I think, reacting when we need to kind of remember, does it even really matter? Can I go to town an hour and a half away at some point in the future, which I'm going to go tomorrow now, and see if I can find some new shoe bits to fix my shoes myself? Can I just do that? Can put out to the universe, hey, I desire and intend to attract an awesome shoe repair person to fix your shoes for me, right? Can we just do that instead of creating this discord and sending this person a message that says, girl, you got it wrong because I only wore these shoes 5 to 10 times each, right? So, yeah. So I wanted to bring that up because maybe it'll resonate with you somehow. There's this whole concept. Eckhart Tolle talks a lot about the pain body and wanting to defend our mental positions and wanting to be right. And it's like, we do sometimes want to be right. I want to have the last say. How dare that girl insinuate I've walked a mile in these shoes, And then you look at it and you go, this is total bullshit. It doesn't matter. So that's my rant around that. Okay. Do you have any questions? I see some people watching. I'm over on LinkedIn right now, on Facebook, on Instagram. Do you have any questions around mindset, business, manifestation before I wrap up here? I will wrap up with another card as well. Love doing that. I'll probably choose a different deck than the Human Spirit. I'm being called to do the Wisdom of the Deck Oracle, so I will use that. Let me just see here. I've got any questions. How can I hear my soul's voice? Well, that's a good one. Let's just get into the deepness now. Okay. How do you hear your soul's voice? You listen. You listen. Isn't that a game changer? One of the things that I think we do a lot of is we're very busy projecting outwards, being in the future, being in the past. A lot of that's mindset, right? That's why I created the mindset challenge, because I knew that I could take the 30 years experience I've had changing my mind. Well, I've been spiritual. Okay. So I've been working on changing my mindset for over 20 years. And I use all those trainings in that. And the outcomes that people are having, it's so awesome. But it's because we're rarely here in the moment now, or we don't remember how to change our thoughts, or we don't recognize that, we can just be quiet in there. And sometimes it's going to be easier than others. I'm not saying it's always easy. I had a couple days of anxiety a little while ago, and I was frustrated at myself because I know better. I know what to do. And I got myself out of it because I knew what to do. And even when I was in it, I was being compassionate with myself and seeing, oh, I'm making assumptions here, and, being the observer. But when we're looking at how we can connect with our soul, it's really about listening to ourselves. So for example, when we make decisions, are we noticing, does our heart flutter? Do we feel hot in our heart? Do we get anxiety? Do we get stressed? Do we feel excitement? Do we get goosebumps? Do we hear songs in our mind? Do we just know stuff? Do we notice signs around us, like something that says yes or green lights everywhere, right? When we are looking at connecting with our soul, it's about understanding how our soul is speaking to us and then listening and paying attention. Like right now, when I just did that, I got a little ring in my left ear. Boom, number one, feminine energy. But that was a lot about me going, okay, so maybe I'm downloading something right now, or it could just be confirmation and clarity. Usually when I'm speaking and I get confirmation, I get super excited, I get covered in goosebumps. When we start to notice the ways that our soul is communicating to us, very often, my experience through our emotions, through our feelings, we are then allowing ourselves to be guided by our soul's voice. When we go against, when we do something that feels uncomfortable, and I'm not talking about uncomfortable in terms of, oh, I'm going to go across the bridge to the other side of like get into La La Land, just to keep bringing that idea up. But when we go, oh, this is not right for me, but I'm going to do it anyway, right? That's what I'm talking about. Our soul is guiding us through our emotions and letting us know if this is right for us or not. And it's up to us to understand, how do we make decisions? How do we listen to the messages our soul whispers? Or are we just always in our mind that we're missing those cues? And so in Soul Accelerator, for example, my 6-month coaching program, I'm going to teach you that. And we're going to work on it all the time, because there's homework and there's accountability and there's all that stuff that I'm going to be offering you, because I can see that when we work on this stuff on a consistent basis, real change happens. Real change and real outcomes and lasting change and lasting outcomes. So that's my answer to that question. Thank you. That was a good one. I'm going to go ahead and pull a card now. And thank you so much for watching. I do air these as well on the Afterlight Podcast. I used to do a lot of my personal episodes and just sit here and record them. And then it occurred to me that I was wasting an opportunity, because I get to talk to you this way and then still repurpose the audio. So, and then cut the video and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know if that's going to be a helpful tip for you. If you're doing something like that you can maybe look at doing it a bit better, repurposing or getting more value out of what you're doing already. But this is what I found really works really well. All right, cool. So let me pull a card now. So wherever you are in time or space, just, open-minded. This is just a general card, just a general message from Source here. Let's see what they say. And remember, got to run things through your own filter. You got to make sure that things resonate with you. There might be something small within you or for you within this. Okay, this says not for you. So this is card number 6, not for you. When I get a 6 is all about family, love, but it's intuition. For me, it's about coming around the corner, seeing things clearly, seeing things as they are. So are you seeing the situation as it actually is? Or are you seeing the situation maybe how you want it to be? This situation is asking you to really get clear on what it is you want and desire from your life, and then weighing it up with, is this going to take you in that direction? So I'll use the example of, I'll use the example of my yoga practice. So I haven't had a consistent yoga practice in years, ever since I got my dog and I hurt my knee, just threw me out. And so I got really clear with myself a little while ago. And I went, I got to do a 21-day yoga challenge to reset myself. My girlfriend gave me a very insightful thing. I was like, oh, I haven't been doing a regular yoga practice. Woe is me, And then she goes, girl, you're just out of the habit. And I went, oh, I'm just out of the habit. You're right. I keep telling myself these stories that, oh, I'm just not as good as I once was, which is true. But I was just out of the habit. And so I thought, okay, well, 21 days is the amount of time it takes to really start a new habit. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do a 21-day challenge for myself. And I'm not going to tell anyone about it. I'm just going to do it. And I told a couple people about it because it's not like it was a secret. But I guess on some level, I thought, oh, if I don't tell anyone, then I don't do it, then I'm not going to let myself down. Then I thought, no, I'm not going to let myself down. I'm really fully dedicated into it. So where I'm going with this whole thing is that my future self does yoga on a regular basis, and I wasn't showing up like her now. But now I am. So this card is like, not for you. It's saying, who do you want to be? Is this situation truly that? Truly that? Sometimes we settle for something that's not actually what we want because it's okay. It's good enough, right? But are we really needing to rush into these decisions? Can we just take a minute and just go, you know what? I'm going to get more information. I'm going to wait for a better time. I'm not going to say yes right now. I'm just going to wait a little bit longer. I'm going to have faith and trust that what is meant for me will not pass me by. Because when we say yes to things that are not really right for us, the thing that was right for us, which was behind that thing, is like knocking on the door like, girl, I was waiting to come in, but you've just been fluffing around with this other stuff that's just like not right. It's taken me years to get here. I'm like, holy really? Really? Because I got my own way. So that's what this card is saying. It's saying it's not for you, but it's saying balance the situation. Does the situation take you towards the person that you want to be or not? Do you have to make a decision right now? Can you sleep on it, for example? Can you take a minute and go, I'm going to take a little bit of time. I'm going to really reevaluate this. Then I'm going to make my decision. Okay, cool. I love you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a supporter of my work and for sharing it with your friends as well to really help me to get my messages out there. Thank you for following the Afterlight podcast as well. I appreciate that so much. New episodes launching today, and it is a good one. I'm just going to tell you that right now. And it's featuring my friend Angelica Allen, and she's just like a dynamo. And you know me, it's just like full of so much wisdom and fun and emotions, and it's awesome. You're going to love it. It drops in 2 hours. Okay, so thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you very, very much, and let's keep in touch. And again, if you are curious about Soul Accelerator, let's set up a free discovery call. And if you just want to start with something that's a little bit simpler, not as much of an investment at all, $37, head to my website, laurengraceinspirations.com. Sign up for Master Your Mindset. You get an email from me every single day. You get an audio download. You get a full color workbook. It's over 50 pages of journal prompts. It will change your life. I'm telling you, the people who have taken this program are like not the same. They are just fully into changing and choosing a different kind of life for themselves. And it is awesome. And it is so inspiring. Okay. I will talk to you again very soon. And let's just end with my little promo video because I love it. Okay. Talk to you soon. Bye. Hi, I'm Lauren Grace, host of the Afterlight Podcast, mindset and manifestation coach and medium. With over 20 years in self-development, I specialize in empowering people like you to unlock your inner power and live the life you want. Drawing from my background in radio, online platforms, events, and business management, I offer comprehensive training in mindset, business strategies, and personal growth. My goal is simple: to help you realize your full potential and thrive in both business and life. My holistic approach to coaching and teaching sets me apart as I incorporate practical strategies, actionable steps, and spiritual insights in all I do. As a medium, I can connect with higher guidance and deliver messages that resonate deeply with your soul, guiding you towards clarity, healing, and empowerment. I'm dedicated to creating a supportive environment where you can explore your aspirations, overcome challenges, and step into your highest potential. Together, we'll embark on a transformative journey of self-discovery, growth, and lasting change. The journey ahead is yours to shape. Join me today and begin your journey towards a more empowered and fulfilled life. Find out more at laurengraceinspirations.com.